All right, I'm back. This is part two. Yeah. So in the last video, I was talking about how it's delusional to expect a man who has any and all selection to see you as something so special, and that if you wanted a man to see you as special, you would have to truly be special, and it's easier to do that to a man who has limited selection, who's operating in realistic, grounded standards, like you. If you were doing the same thing, you both would be operating at grounded standards. You would see each other and it would be a nice fit. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this fixation with the bad stuff. I don't know how to explain it. So women have a fixation on the new way of doing things. Like so there are women who are around, and there have been many male content creators talk about this. Have made whole careers out of talking about this kind of stuff on YouTube. I don't really have a goal for that. I'm just making this video on it and I'm touch on it for this video. Um, yeah. So even though all this information is out there, it's still so this conversation is still being had, and there's still so many women who prefer to live in the ways that they've been prioritizing for the past couple years, almost a century at this point. If not a century, if not close to a century of feminism that we have been having in a lot of first world countries, but especially in the United States and places like New York and California and big city areas. Anyway, they want to do the bad things. All right, so there's proof, evidence. They've all had many experiences as well, so they have the statistical data and they have the anecdotal data that supports the perspective that the way that they're going about it right now isn't working and it's not the right way to go about it. But they would rather keep doing that and pursuing whatever goals they have using this proven to be broken, proven to be a failed method. Anyway, I think that comes a place from purely of a lack of accountability and lack and defiance. All right, so a lot of I don't know what part of how women are raised nowadays and what part of feminism directly contributes to this almost unanimous trait that a lot of women have nowadays, where they avoid any and all accountability and responsibility for themselves. I'm not sure how that works and why it's just so uncanny as far as how often you see it and how it's represented, how it's consistent in women of today. Uh, but because of that, it's hard for women to move forward or to start to change it, to have any new tactics at all. Even if they don't do what men are telling them to do, let's just say they find another way, right? They make another way. They can't do that without acknowledging what they're currently doing is bad or wrong or stupid. That would take accountability. That would take them going, okay, what I've done so far and what we've done so far doesn't work. It wasn't right. It's not the way. That is a monumental task for women, especially collectively, because for every one woman that has the ability to do that, there's 100 women who are nowhere near being capable of such levels of accountability. A thousand women, nowhere near being as capable. And if you're not raised up, or if you're not open enough to take in certain perspectives as a person, not just as a woman, but as a person, your mind cannot be changed, or you cannot change somebody else's mind to do nothing unless you fucking mind controlling them or some shit with some kind of device like some MK Ultra shit. If that's not what's going on, you can't change nobody's mind. You can give them an idea, you can inspire them to do something, but if they don't want to do it and they don't make a conscious decision in their mind that this is what they want to do, it's not gonna happen. It doesn't matter how much you can beat the what's it called, beating the dead horse. You can do that shit all day. This is why I don't want to join no communities of red pill niggas. I'm not here for that. Because I've watched some of those people already know what they do. And some of them have made careers. And I've seen the little clips. I've seen those things. It's not like they don't say stuff that's true. It's valid points that get made by men and women. Sometimes they get on the podcasts and stuff. But they're beating a dead horse. I truly believe that. Because like how long has this been happening already? Like 5, 10? How long have content creators like that been around? How many years now? A long time. And there's always some like newer, smaller ones sprouting up because they getting pissed about how the dating scene is, and they have the free time and they decide, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, and they put up the little channel and they make it about posting silly shit that women say online, or posting clips from the bigger channels like the Fresh and Fit podcast, or the other one with the white guy. What's it called? The know it all nobody knowledge. It's something with the know in it. KNOW. It's a podcast. It's a white guy. He sits around a table. Most of the room is white, like the color is white, and it's a round table. And he sits on one side. And he invites all these girls to say stuff, and it's all kind of characters that come through there. And sometimes they say some crazy shit. Sometimes they just say what typical stuff you expect women to say. It's another podcast. It's more new than Fresh and Fit, but it's the same thing. They're not really accomplishing anything by smacking women with the truth. What we need to do is we need to work on getting women to, or not just women, but people, to live by the truth again. Desire the truth, to live by the truth, and want the truth. Just exposing them to the truth over and over. It is a tactic that can work for some people. Right? Sometimes if someone doesn't understand something, or they're living a delusion, or they're living a lie, and you hit them with a hard truth, they get like, whoa. They're like, well, I gotta switch up because now I know the truth and I can't go back to doing this. Right? Sometimes that works, but sometimes that doesn't work. Like I said, it depends on a lot of stuff. I'm kind of getting off topic, but the main thing I was talking about was women need to have a certain level of accountability that needs to return. Women need to learn how to do that again, but like in general, en masse, not just the 2 or 3 women out of the whole neighborhood. That's not gonna help unless they make some podcasts or do something to become influential to a bunch of women. It's not gonna work. And it's a very good possibility. I'm being just kind of grim what I'm about to say, but it's a very good possibility that if these things do not change, like within pretty recent time, like within the next decades, or next couple decades, population is gonna take a fat dive. I'm saying like, bruh, it's gonna be very bad. And a lot of the kids that go through the school system right now and stuff, they can't read, they can't write. They don't have no backbone. Like, they're not going to be standing up to the government or doing no shit like that. We're not going to have as many people. It's looking grim. It's looking real grim. I'm just going to say that, put that out there. It is what it is. But, I mean, it is what we make it. What we've made it. But that's what's finna come down the pipeline. Keep fucking around doing what we're doing right now. That's what's on the way. But anyway, the other thing about the mandating side. So I spoke on the women, which is stuff you probably heard everywhere already before. But what I'm seeing from the men right now is more or less, what I have to say is less criticism, because I understand where they're coming from. But there is some things that we're doing that need to not happen, that we shouldn't do. As men, what we should not do is we should not look outside of ourselves for, what do you call it, like masculine templates or masculine role models. If you don't have one in your family, like you don't have your father around, understandable. What you need to do is find the next best healthy representation in your family of a masculine man and learn from him. Don't go look at the TV or no niggas that's rapping or no shit like that. These niggas are not good examples for fucking nobody. Nobody. And I feel like that's a problem. I feel like I need to bring that up because a lot of young black men in my age and younger, and who grew up at the time I was growing up and that are growing up right now, are like they're little copies of these guys, of these bad influences. Right? They're trying to be the next Tiger or the next Bobby Shmurda or something like. And it's like, bro, first of all, that's not good for your own life. Like, depending on how seriously you try and copy these people, you could go to jail or die in some dumbass ways. But also, that's just bad traits. It's bad traits to pick up. It's bad mindsets to pick up. Like, it's just bad. Like, these people get successful off of the way that they are because they're propped up. They're propagated. I spoke about this in a video in the past. The unhealthy people, or the ones that are the worst examples of black community, are the ones that get propped up by the media because they want us all to behave that way, because they know black excellence is very powerful. So if we start tapping into that excellence, it's hard to contain us and make us feel like we ain't shit and stuff like that. They can't do all that if we're all living in our black excellence. So they make the poster boys of our people these very horrible examples. Just because they have money or the ability to fuck all these girls doesn't mean that they're successful. That's not how you determine success. Let me give you, as a man, what I believe is the indicator for success. Do you have a legacy? One, that is based off your genuine self. That is the most important part right there. Your genuine self cannot be discovered from no TV or no person, no idols, influencers, or no shit like that. You can only discover who your genuine self is and how to embody your genuine self by going within. It's all from in here. Some things outside in the real world can help you, but the source and the goal that you're trying to get to is not out here. It's in here. Right? So once you find your genuine self, then you apply your genuine self to something in the world, usually to a service, right? What makes men great and what men love to do when they are in the world building and stuff, and they like to provide a service, even if it's not specifically to one person or one group of people, it might be to all of humanity. But every great man has provided a service through his legacy. Even men around today, like Elon Musk, even though I can say a lot of bad things about Elon Musk, he has a legacy, and it is providing a service for technological advancement, for with the Tesla cars. He remade or reindustrialized technology around automobiles that's more advanced than what we used to have. Like, he's doing things, but the whole thing about what he's doing is that he's providing a service from his genuine self. His genuine passion is the electronics, the AI, the future of shiny technology shit. That's his thing. That's his genuine desire from his genuine self, and he turned it into a service and gave it to the world. That's a big ambition, right? That's for the whole world. Your ambition may not be that big. It may focus on a smaller group. It may just to be like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I can't even guess. It's so many different ways people can express, and so many different people in the world. I can't even think off the top of my head right now a good example. But just do that. That's how you know if you've reached success, right? So you find your genuine self. With your genuine self, you provide a service and create a legacy. That's how you be a man, essentially. That's memorable, that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember hearing about, or I remember reading in the history books about, or whatever, or I know him down the street, or I know him. Just because you're being your genuine self. You enjoy what you're doing, so you can keep doing it, keep getting better at it, and making it better for other people who come to participate in it with you, because your passion is in it, because it's your genuine desire to do it. And because of that, it's forming a legacy just because you keep doing it. Legacy is built over time. You can't form a legacy in a day. You have to keep working at some shit, keep building some shit, failing, succeeding, trying again, But that's a legacy. But if your legacy is not, first of all, you can't make. I mean, you probably could, but it would basically be some form of torture if you forged a legacy out of some shit that you did not enjoy doing. I don't think you want to do that, right? So, but that's the main thing for men. The other thing is that would solve some of these other things I'm about to talk about, but I'm still gonna mention them real quick. Beating women or being harsh to women at all is stupid. Let me tell you why it's stupid. First of all, no respectable man is gonna see you in a good light for doing that shit. You might say, I don't give a fuck what other men think. That's dumb. Because in the world, even though women don't want to acknowledge this, shit gets done by men. Okay? Shit gets done by men. So if your overall behavior makes you repulsive to other men who treat themselves a certain way and uphold themselves to a certain quality, you're not gonna get far. You're not gonna make friends, and you need friends and connections to do anything in this world. You're not the only nigga on this planet. Human beings are not great because we're all so fucking invincible as individuals. That's not the case. It's because of what we can do when we put our minds together. That's always going to be the truth when it comes to being a man or a woman or whatever. In the business world, socially, whatever it is, things get better when the more of us work together towards a common goal. That's when shit starts getting good and it starts becoming something really. That's our strength. It's our ability to all get in the same what's called a same hive mind, same group of thinking, not necessarily a hive mind, but same group of thinking and do something in cooperation with one another. We working together and we doing it with passion and we doing it from a genuine place in our hearts. Then something great usually comes along after that, right? Some great results can be gotten from doing that. And you not gonna get that opportunity if you're a repulsive man. It also what it shows is that you have no discipline, you have no emotional control, and you're a predator, and you a bully because it's still true regardless of if women want to accept it or not. It's still true that women in general are weaker than men. There is more opportunities, especially physically, to take advantage or abuse women than there is a man. And a man by no means is invincible, which should show you by comparison just how vulnerable women can be. And if you're taking those opportunities to bully somebody or inflict pain upon somebody who you know categorically is more vulnerable than you, that just shows that you're garbage. Like you're garbage as a human being. Like you have a problem. That's like beating up on like a fucking hamster or something. Like what is their problem? What is wrong with you? You need to figure that shit out. Please get some help. Heal. Something's not right. Something's wrong. No. Uh, and even if she does some atrocious shit, you need to be the bigger man. You need to be the man. Women, and I'm standing on this. If women don't mature past a certain age, like if they don't mature mentally past the age, I mean most women today mentally don't mature past the age of 16. I'm serious. Even the ones that are older, like 30, 40-year-old women out here, 50-year-old, they if they still don't feel like changing later on, it's gonna stay the same. And like how I was talking about how you're supposed to start your life and what decisions you should make when you're a young woman and you're a young man, they don't make those decisions. The people around them don't tell them to. They don't hear that shit from somebody else and get interested in it and go try it. They just live fucking ghetto fabulous little free lives and do whatever the fuck and have fun and do drugs and shit. That's not mature. You're not maturing just because you're getting older. You mature in your mind, right? So if you live in that way and you keep living that way into your 30s and into your 40s, you're still immature. You're an immature ass 30-year-old or immature ass 40-year-old woman or man. It's immature ass men out there too. A lot of them that got caught up in those lifestyles dealing with other immature ass people and they just never decided to break out. They might have reasons. Some people have genuine reasons that seem very compelling. But at the end of the day, it's still an excuse because you've had all this time. And I know for a fact throughout all this time that you've been alive, You've heard and you've seen and experienced the other way, and you chose not to do that. You chose to keep doing the shit that you're doing. So it's your fault. Uh, we don't want to be like them. You need to be, if you want to mature as men, you can't be like that. And part of that is having discipline and having emotional maturity and emotional control of your emotions. Women, even when they are mature, are still emotional creatures. So they will, especially more than you, do some emotional lashing out type shit. They're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Especially if you hanging around with them all the time, because now you developing emotional bonds with them. So whatever emotions they have attached to you are growing stronger. So when some shit happens and when they get a negative reaction, that just increases the chances of how big their negative reaction is gonna be. Right? This makes sense. Listen, if you just talking to a girl and you don't know her or whatever, she can have a reaction. It's probably not going to be that big, or it's going to be based off some emotions that she's generated from somewhere else, not necessarily emotions that's attached to you. But if you're in a relationship with a woman, you've gotten to know this woman. She trusts you, she loves you, she respects you, and then y'all go through some shit. She's going to be going through some shit in here because her emotions is all riled up because y'all have had that time in the bond. So now all of this is being affected by her emotions. So her reactions are going to be way more than some other woman that's not none of that to you, that doesn't have those connections, right? So you should be prepared for that. Be prepared for that as a mature man, please. It's good for you. It's best for you. Uh, and sometimes, and just it's just the biology of women. It's just the chemistry of women's brains. They just they flip the fuck out sometimes more emotionally than we do. It just happens that way. I'm not saying the men can't be emotional. We can be emotional and do dumb shit while emotionally charged, just like a woman. But it is more so the thing that women do. It's easier for them to do it. It seems like it's just like a natural reaction to them. For us, we have to be raised a certain way and have no discipline and have no emotional maturity to do some shit like that. A woman can still work on her emotional maturity, and if a certain thing comes, if a certain trigger hits, it don't matter. She's still gonna have emotional reactions. It's her emotions are too strong. They're emotional creatures. So you need to have that down as a man if you want to deal with women at all. For the people who still want to deal with women. The other thing too is I have a tactic for y'all. This is not criticism. This is a tactic, right? So I know the dating landscape is weird and times are bad and weird with women and stuff. I know. Okay. If you still want to go about considering things about women to be in relationships with women, one of the things you need to do is you need to practice a certain level of detachment. I don't know if I talk about detachment. I feel like I have, but it was probably in a different context. But detachment works here as well because if you get too invested in women, if you get too invested in women, especially if you do it too fast, you're kind of just setting yourself up for a lot of pain, especially because they're such emotional creatures and they can make sound decisions that they're fully committed to, and then flip that shit and not like that shit no more. Men don't do shit like that as much. We need genuine reasons to change our mind, especially if we are firm on a belief. We don't just drop that shit. That's not what happened. But women can do that. Yes, they very much can, and they very much do. Right? So you need to practice a certain level of detachment from women by understanding their nature. Some people will not be attracted to women anymore once they understand their nature. That's what's been happening. The nature of today's women is now fully understood by most people. And now that they understand all that shit about women, they're like, what the fuck? I'm not talking to no fucking women. Nigga, I can barely pay for this, or I'm getting by just regular as I am right now. Adding another fucking mouth to that, plus all this other shit. Please, I'm not doing that. I understand that. I understand, okay? But we as human beings need to keep on finding ways to get along, unless you just gonna be so selfish as to, I guess, co-sign humanity's extinction. you need to figure out a way to coexist. And even if you don't want to coexist with the women that are here right now, that's understandable. But put some effort towards bringing women into the world that you can coexist with, because nothing stop you from having kids some years down the line. You don't got to be 20 or 30 to have a kid as a man. We have time to work with here. But you need to practice a certain level of detachment. That's very important, and emotional maturity and discipline. And you need to find your genuine self and use your whatever your genuine self shows you to form a legacy. And it doesn't have to be, but it's probably most likely going to be a form of service to someone. Part of what I'm working on right now, because this I'm gonna speak on myself to give you some context, to give you an example. I have identified my legacy, and I've identified my genuine self. I had not always known this. It's not easy to just know. It's not something you just know. You have to find it. Like I said, for the longest time, my passions kind of went in all kind of different directions. So I had to move the monitor real quick. Especially when I was younger, I used to love aliens and space and these things. So I was firm on the belief that I would be an astronomer or an astronaut. But I more so wanted to be an astronomer because I wanted to be an astronomer first, astronaut second. That's how my dream was. Because I wanted to understand where I was going. I didn't just want to get launched into space and stand around and put flags on shit. That's not what I want to do. I want to know that star system goes there and it's connected to there and it's this many light years from here. And if I go over there, it's going to take me this long to get back. So, and I wanted to have knowledge of space and all of what could be out there. The glorious, infinite potential of life out there in space. It was so exciting to me. It's still a very exciting idea to me, but I realized that that's not my passion. It's just something that excited me. It's a minor passion, but it's not my authentic self. Uh, that's what, and I got to this by looking for my authentic self. Then my second biggest passion that I ran into was to be an actor. Uh, I felt, and I think this came from a place of desperation or came from a place of depression, and I didn't realize it at first. Right, but because I looked around at the world and I didn't like what I saw I didn't see myself in the world, and I didn't like much of what I saw in the world, I started getting lost in my imagination, just like I did with the astronomy stuff. I'm thinking about aliens and shit. I'm getting lost in my imagination. And I was having a lot of fun doing that. I was having a lot of fun being in my imagination. Who wouldn't? If you could just enjoy your imagination and you have a strong imagination, that shit is fun. It's fucking awesome, right? So I'm like, what if I could do this as a career and I could just be in my imagination and act shit out all the time? I'm having a good time. That's a great fucking time. I could do that. And somebody was like, "Oh, you can be an actor." Oh, really? An actor? How you do that? Well, they give you a script, you make up some shit, you make up a story, you set the stage up, or you set the production system up, you put the lights on, CGI or whatever, and you just play a part. This not even a real person. You just put yourself in your imagination like you're doing right now, and you play that role out, and you put all of your real life energy and passion into that character to make that character as believable as possible, and other people can watch you, and if they want to get lost in their imaginations, you can help them do it and make a whole lot of fucking money, because actors make a lot of money. And I'm like, fuck yeah, yeah, right. And I went to acting schools when I was like 6 years old. I was having a blast. I was some of the best. I was in commercials as a kid. I've been on the news and shit a couple times for some other shit. I went to Barbizon Hollywood, graduated. I'm going crazy. I love acting, right? But then I hit a roadblock. This didn't change my passion. It just made me think about myself more, and it helped me discover my genuine passion. But I hit a roadblock at one point because I was thinking about acting and stuff, and I started questioning myself. This is something else you should learn to do as a man. Do not be afraid, and do not try to get away from thinking about your thoughts and questioning yourself. This is also a thing to do just to increase your mental power and your ability to think and do shit. Think about your thoughts. So when you have a thought, you need to be like, wait, especially if it was too fast or it's very charged, there's a lot of passion in that thought, you need to slow down and think about what you just thought, and then think about why you thought that shit. Yeah, you might be like, what? No, that's what you need to do. Think about your thoughts. So you have a thought, you thinking about some shit. I don't know. This is just representing a thought. You chilling, you doing something. Maybe you at work or you chilling. You have a thought, boom, come out of your head. You're like, it's kind of charged. It's stirring up some emotions inside of you, or it's making you feel some kind of way, or it's making you think about something else. It's going to lead you into this trail of thoughts, or trail of thoughts and emotions. Stop. Grab that bitch back and say, where did this come from? What is this? Why did I just think that right now? And what is making me think that this is a thought? That this is like, why am I letting this thought take me on to this whole nother direction that where did that come from and where is it going? You need to have the ability to do that as a man. As a human being, it's a useful skill, but as a man, especially if you're gonna call yourself being a responsible man and trying to lead other people and raise families and have kids and shit, or create legacies, and you're gonna have people working for you and all kind of shit, you need that ability. Think about your thoughts, and sometimes that process goes multiple steps. It's not just you think about one thought. You might have to think about a whole lot of different thoughts, and then now you're thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. You might have to write some shit down. You need that. Please do that. Anyway, I hit my roadblock in acting. I finished the acting school, and then I put in some resumes, and I did so good that I had people wanting to work with me and stuff. They gave me their emails, right? Casting directors or whatever. I put in emails for those people. Some of them weren't even based in the United States. None of them niggas got back to me, so that was a whole waste of time. That's what that felt like. Barbizon felt like a waste of time. And luckily, it wasn't my money, it was my dad's money at that time because I was still young. But that was still not good. I didn't want to waste his money. That felt wrong. It felt wrong to do that. It felt like I just wasted my time. It's like I went there and I did good and I showed out. And all I got was this paper with some contact information. Didn't nobody get back to me. And some medals. Some medals that probably like 20% plastic, the rest percent metal. The fuck? Nigga, I was doing that for like how many months? Like, what is this? And they was gassing up the whole experience. I stayed in a hotel to do all this competitions and shit. I'm like, bro, I was expecting to at least get like one like gig or something. Somebody like, hey, come help me work on this commercial or this play or this TV show I got in the works. Something like that. Nothing happened. That shit was crazy to me. I was like, that's a waste of time. And then I just had to go through regular processes that anybody else would have to go through. Meaning people who did not go to Barbizon, right? So some person who's never been to acting school, never paid for no courses, never gone to no competitions, never won any medals, but they just decided that they wanted to be an actor or try some acting jobs out. All they have to do is get onto the internet, find a place like Backstage or whatever, and apply and get selected. And then they can go shoot their shot. And they have to do a little whatevers, and people will take them in and say, okay, you know, we like you for this. We'll put you in this role. You did good with that improvisation script or whatever's. Come on in, right? That's the same process that I'll have to go through now. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, the fuck did I spend all that money for? So that was the roadblock because I was still having to go to work and do like little ordinary regular stuff while having to afford these subscriptions for these websites. And these are, you have to subscribe to these motherfuckers. These acting websites be charging like $300, $500 subscriptions for you to really get seen. Like, so someone can see your applications that you putting in your portfolio for acting. $300, $500, sometimes it's a little less, but they're always in the hundreds. And it's like, bro, I barely got a job. I barely got a place. I need that money to save. I need that money to pay for shit that needs to get paid for. What if I had a car? I had a car at one point, and it was fucking tough because I can't afford to pay for no damn $300 fucking subscriptions to maybe get seen by some niggas. I have to no, it doesn't work. It's not computing. And in that time, in that space, I thought about why I wanted to be an actor. I was like, what was my drive for that? What was my passion for that? Because I found some other places, and I went to some other plays and stuff, even after I got out of Barbizon while I was working, and I still wasn't you know, looking in the acting space and enjoying it. I saw some great plays. Oh my God, some great plays. Like some of them should be TV shows. I swear to God, I see way more entertaining shit at playhouses and at theaters than I do on TV nowadays. Okay, I'm just gonna put that right there. Some great talent out here, but I guess they're not doing enough, or they're not in the right circles, or they don't want to do certain things because Hollywood is weird, so they don't get up there. Whatever. Uh, but in that time, I was thinking, and I found out the reason I wanted so bad to be an actor was because I didn't like the world. I didn't like the world, and I didn't like my circumstances. Not my specific individual circumstances, but the time period that am born in, like the world that I'm in. I do not feel home here. Like this is not right. It's something about it that's just like no, it should be there. We could make it better. It could be better for everybody right now if this was different. And why are there so many unhappy people? Why are these problems? Like, it's not comfortable for me. I'm not comfortable, even though it's not my responsibility and nobody asked me to do it or whatever. I can't control how I was born this way. I was born this way. As a child, I felt this, and I submerged it and transformed it into being an actor. Or no, I submerged it and then tried to escape from it and put that passion that should have been towards what I was originally thinking, which is the world is not right. I should try and do something to provide a service, do something to the world, in the world, to make it the better place that I envision. Instead, I put that passion somewhere else to escape the world, which was the acting, right? So, but now I know that's not the case. Even though I still love acting, I'm still a good actor too. If somebody want to invite me on the show, I can do that, okay? But I'm pretty sure that my genuine desire, my genuine mission is to provide a service to the world. And I think that's why I started making videos. I think the best way I can do that is just being my authentic self on the internet. Why not? I mean, shit, if people don't like it, they don't like it. Somebody might like it eventually. If they do like it, then I get an audience and people like it, and then I can start making some community and I can start making some change. I can be entertaining while that's happening. It's good, and then they'll also let me know that I'm on the right path, right? And you got to be committed. You got to have some consistency to it, right? Even though I don't post like every day because I have a job and other things, I'm still gonna keep coming and posting videos. And every video, every time I try to post something, it's gonna be me trying to be my genuine self, speaking on something. But that is all to give an example of what I think men should do to be men in the world, and to engage with the world comfortably, where you getting something out of it and you feel good about what you're doing, right? So that way you don't get lost in the sauce, and you don't ever start prioritizing women or no shit like that, or feel like, oh, if I can't get a relationship, or if I don't get a certain amount of money, it's no point in living. That's bullshit. It's plenty of ways. None of that shit matters. Find your authentic self. Find your authentic self. What and what kind of and use that to create a legacy, to provide something to the world, to a service, even if it's not to the world, but to provide a service as your authentic self. Now you might be thinking to also, like, maybe what you're thinking about isn't in the form of a service, but I want to tell you that everything in a way is a form of service, especially if you start trying to grow this idea or apply this idea to a mass amount of people. It's a service. It's a service because you're providing something from yourself that people can take, right? They can participate or take it or not, but you're just giving it. You're giving it, and it's up to them whether they want to get some and partake or not. That's a service, more or less. In a manner of speaking, I can't really think of all the words, but that's a service that you're providing. So even if it's like doing parkour, for example, that you might say, how is that a service? Well, Especially if you're online and you're gonna be online interact or not online, but you're gonna be interacting with other people. You're still providing a service because after you master parkour, what you gonna do? Sit on your ass with your little master parkour badge and let your parkour skills go to waste, or just keep flipping around by yourself? No, somebody gonna come try to learn from you. The knowledge will be spread. The experience will be seen as useful by somebody, and then it's going to become a service. Because then you're gonna start trying to give it away. You're gonna see the value in it. You know it's valuable. They know it's valuable. It is now a service because you're giving it away and or trading it away maybe for some money, whatever. It's still a service. And now that new knowledge and expertise is now into the sea of knowledge that's out there in the world for anyone to come and partake. That's a service. Even if it was, even if you was making hairbrushes, I mean, obviously that's a service. People need to brush their hair. Even if you was starting a business, I don't know, maybe it's not a business. Let's just say you was bro, everything's a service. Like even if you was an actor, like I was talking about earlier, that's not necessarily owning any businesses, but it's providing a service because people need escapism and they need to relax and they want to laugh or they want to feel sad or they want to get lost in some kind of fantasy, whatever. They need to turn on the TV and you need to be on the other side of that screen helping them do that. That's a service. Everything's a service. Everybody, this is something that men and women need to understand again about relationships. Everything is a service. In a relationship, all you're doing is you're choosing one specific person that you genuinely care about more than other people to provide more personal, specific services to them. That's what a relationship is. And they do the same thing for you. So now we just, you know, we together. We fucking cookies and cream over here. Right? That's how that's supposed to go. A lot of women more so have lost the plot on that and they think that they're just supposed to receive service and they don't give the same kind of service back. They want a man to just spend money on them, not even think about it. Just spend money on me, treat me like a princess. Or he needs to be able to do all these things. They have lists of shit that they want, right? But then you ask them what they do for their man, and they're like, oh, I'm pretty, or I'm the table, or something. You're not providing those services back. It's give and take. Relationship is give and take, yin and yang, right? That's what yin and yang also stands for. It stands for relationships between men and women. One is like the black fish and with the white dot, and the other one was the white dot. I mean the white fish with the black dot. To show duality, to show that on both sides they can both understand and represent each other, and within each of them is a part of the other, so they can understand one another. And when they have all that shit in sync, they just flow. It's just the infinite flow, the yin and yang, right? The fishes, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's a representation of duality in relationships between the masculine and the feminine. That's what that represents. And it represents many things, but it also represents that. And so in a healthy relationship, it's service for service. It's not transactional. You're not supposed to be thinking about it like, well, I gave you something, give me something. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to feel like that. You genuinely care about somebody. That's still very important. You get to know someone, you genuinely care about them. They genuinely care about you. When they see you and you laugh and you smile, they feel good. When you're happy when you're not happy or sad or mad, they feel that too. They want to help you. What's going on? Talk to me. Right? This is genuine care. Like they love you. And they want you to have good shit, have the best. Perhaps they have greater ambitions. They want you to have the best. Whatever. But they want that for you because they love you. If you love them, that would be easy to reciprocate, right? When they're giving shit to you and they're doing stuff for you, you're like, oh my God, my man's working so hard for me. What can I do to make his life easier right now? Because I know he's working hard. Or I know he's stressed about this. Or I know this is coming up. Or whatever. How can I do the same thing? Look what he's doing for me. He loves me. Look what he's doing for me. How can I do the same thing back to him? For him. That's the relationship. That's it. That's the whole thing explained right there. All that other shit that's going on is confusion. You just operating in some other bullshit that modern times and confusion has put inside your head and fucked your shit up. No. What a healthy relationship is exactly what the fuck I just said. If you use that template, nothing can go wrong. You love that person, genuinely care about them, you want to have the best for them. This doesn't mean that you should destroy yourself. Like, you should still care about yourself to a certain degree, because if you are too fucked up, you can't help nobody. Okay, this is why you need certain skills, like I was talking about earlier, and to know who you are and stuff like that. Yes, that's very important. You need to have that first. Otherwise, you can't do nothing for nobody, even somebody that you love, right? Because you're not capable taking care of yourself and being yourself. If you're not capable of taking care of yourself and being yourself, how are you gonna be capable doing some shit for another person? It's not possible, right? So that's important. You need that. Both of y'all need that about yourselves. Know who you are first, and once you have that, it's easier to find someone who you love, because you know exactly who you are. So now you know who you are. You know exactly what you're working with. So when you go out into the world and you meet somebody and shit just clicks, it clicks because it just fucking does. Because you are yourself. You know who you are. You feeling good. And the chemistry, and it just, that's how it's supposed to go. It just fucking bam. It just fucking clicks because it does. And now you in love and shit. That's a great feeling. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. People are confusing it for nothing and making it weird and hard to be in love. It doesn't need to be hard. There's nothing hard about being in love. There's always challenges that come up with any type of relationship or any type of endeavor that you go on about pursuing in your life. There's always going to be some challenges, and y'all will have disagreements. Even though y'all have chemistry and stuff, you're still two different people. You're still completely two completely different sexes with completely different chemical compounds, all kind of shit going on in here. So you're gonna have disagreements. Don't think that the mark of a perfect relationship is not having no disagreements. That's a lie. That's a bullshit. What's a mark of a great relationship is having the disagreements and then working through them bitches. So you have you know they coming. They come, and both of you are like, but I know what I need to do, and I know what's gonna help us get through this. She's mad about this, whatever. She's having this experience. As a man, don't get spurred on by her emotions and start arguing. No. Come back down and understand her and let her get that out. You give what you're talking about. You find the bridge. You make the silver lining. And we keep going. And it's all peaches and gravy. And the love is stronger now because you know that it can survive challenges. Every time you survive another obstacle like that, the love is stronger because you've been through some shit with another person that can't, and don't nobody share that experience with y'all. That's something very unique to you and them and your partner. And y'all got through that shit together. So that makes the bond, that just adds another link in the chain. You know what I'm saying? And that's just awesome. Like, I don't understand why we having these problems. I understand it, but at the same time, I don't understand. And this is why I'm on the internet talking and making videos and shit that's fucking 50 minutes long. Because it don't need to be like this. And the only people that's gonna fix it is us, bro. We the only ones. It's not nobody gonna come fix it for us. We made the problems. We allowed the problems to exist. We have to fix them. And if anything is gonna serve as like, I don't think this is gonna need a part 3. But if anything serves as an instrument or a source of inspiration for you to pursue this with me or try to understand my perspective some more, what I would give you is that better future. That better future, right? Everybody can feel that, especially any man who spend a lot of time in their imaginations thinking about legacy and stuff. That better future is always, that's the ultimate inspiration, right? People have died with that as their inspiration, right? The first people who fought for our civil rights, they didn't have no guarantees of nothing. They didn't have no guarantee. The Nazis could have won. But guess what? That better future that they was thinking about, that was enough. They was like, wait, hold on. If we do this right and we do it now, that is what can be the future for the people who come after us. So this problem doesn't have to exist anymore. I'm willing to die for that shit. Let's go. Put me on the front line. Right? We need that same tenacity when it comes to these situations that are in our community or in our society, in our world today. We need to find that tenacity again. It's needed. It's the only way. It's the only way. No version of apathy or submissiveness or passiveness is going to get us to a greater future. I'm sorry to tell you. No version of apathy or passive behavior is going to get us to a greater future. If you're passive, who's in the driver's seat? You in the passenger seat. Who's in the driver's seat? If somebody in the driver's seat that don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, and you sitting in the passenger seat, they don't gotta listen to you. Especially you're not gonna do nothing. You just sitting there. They gonna drive the car to where they want to go. You in the passenger seat, right? That's how it's gonna happen. Unless you assert some control and get your hands on the wheel. Who's driving the car? That's where you're gonna go. And right now, the people driving the car, they don't have our best interest in heart. They don't have nobody's best interest in heart. They've orchestrated and allowed, or in some way ushered, a lot of our problems into existence while they've been in the driver's seat. So we can't wait on them either. We can't hope that they're going to do some shit for us either. They're not. The only thing that they're going to do is keep driving us the way they've been driving us, which is into some more bullshit. That's not fun. Can you imagine a world worse than the one we have today? I don't think you want to do that. We're going to start approaching some post-apocalyptic shit. It's going to be bad. It can't get too much worse from here. Like, it really can't. Besides, like, whole societies destabilizing, wars breaking out, nobody being able to trust anybody, all kind of shit. That's apocalypse. That's a post-apocalypse / apocalypse world. That's what the fuck that sounds like. We don't have to get there. We should not want to get there. We should stop that. And a lot of the ways, a lot of the problems that we have right now could be fixed if we restore things like love. Love is necessary. Love is one of the greatest forces that human beings can even understand and use, is love. So if we get back to operating in love, I think a lot of problems will be fixed. Which is why I wanted to touch on this relationship stuff, because it's not just about, the superficial 6 feet tall stuff. It's not just about that. It's deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that, and I touched on that. That's what I'm talking about. We need to restore the love in humanity, in ourselves, so we can keep it in one another and foster it and feed it in one another and inspire it in one another. The love has to return. Our whole goal should be about love. That's what this channel is. It's going to be a lot talk about love in this channel. Most of the stuff I'm going to talk about on here, like I said, they're going to come from my genuine self. And my genuine self does not like the way the world is. And I've identified that many of the problems that are in the world are because of a lack of love. No instruments, no institutions, no religions. Fuck all that. Just love. We don't need those things to have love. No, we do not. No, we do not. People have had love without all of that, and it's been fine. In fact, most of them things being introduced messed up the love that existed in this world, especially a lot of these institutions. Okay, but that's gonna be in the end of this video. I know I've watched some of my videos, and I heard that there was some, like, it was hard to hear me. I had to turn my volume all the way up for me to hear me, which is why I tried to raise my voice more. I don't know what exactly is the problem, but I'm gonna figure that out and get some better audio. I'm starting to get some money, saving some money together, so I can work on this channel, or this what I'm doing here. Get a microphone and get a setup and make it nice and make it more official. I might have to get a whole new computer, to be honest. But thank you again for listening to this video. Anyone who liked this video and enjoys these long form videos, Let me know if you want them shorter. Let me know also in the comments. I will do my best. It's so easy for me to ramble, but I will do my best to break them down. It might just be better. It might be better in the end because it's more content for the channel. It might be 5-part videos because I'm breaking it up. But either way, thank you again and have a good day. Much love.